Where did I put my notes? Sorry for the sniffling, Helmy.
It's fine.
Alright. Yeah. So currently you're on a merchant ship on the outer ring of an escort fleet. This is a pretty common thing for these island chains. Is if you can't afford the escort to protect your ship from pirates, it's kind of a scummy thing to do, but you just tag along in our existing escort and not pay the fee. And that is the ship you're on, is the Golden Horn. For now, you are deckhands under Captain Robertson with a big curly red beard. So yeah, you're on. Yeah, you're a pretty galleon. There we go. Not a lot of guns, but that's why you're tagging along with the escort. It is unknown exactly what is inside the escort. The fleet seems to have taken precautions against prying eyes, but that doesn't seem to matter to your captain. So, what kind of thing would you be doing on the ship? Just as a wage day sailor. As a hired hand, what would you be doing?
I'd probably be looking out of the ocean to ensure that there's no that there's no storms or anything, you know?
Right, so you're on like the crow's nest, probably being a lookout.
Yep.
Probably working on ensuring that probably checking the wind and the waves and other navigational measurements.
All right.
Yagi?
Yagi?
Oh, I would like to just be cooking.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Navigation, why don't you roll for perception, please? Oh, actually, both of you, since one of you is lookout and the other is on the deck doing more navigational
do navigations
stuff.
tools or just perception?
You can do navigations tools.
What attribute is that? Intelligence or wisdom?
Let me look it up.
I'll just do wisdom.
I'll do tool checks. You can use intelligence.
Okay, I'll do intelligence. Navigation tools. Okay.
Wow, that's a nat 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Lich, your perception?
Perception is 1d20 plus your intelligence and or wisdom, right?
Not intelligence.
It's wisdom.
It's wisdom, and if you have proficiency in it, then you add that too.
Gotcha.
My face.
Check.
But while you roll that, with the 23, you know quite a bit, actually. So you are currently sailing over monster-infested waters, which is common if you have an escort. Is that you can you have the muscle to afford to take direct routes over dangerous paths. Unescorted ships don't really stray very far from the shoreline, and as such, there's not a lot of charting done on the open water because it's expensive to have a squadron just kind of checking every bit of open water. 23, 10. You can see the escort fleet. It's off a couple 100 feet. 18's pretty good. Yeah, off a couple 100 feet. They've got a selection of with navigation. You can tell with the wind that there's not a lot of land very far, but there is. You wouldn't be surprised if there were just islands ready to be discovered.
Yeah.
With an 18 up on navigation, you spot something kind of unsettling. You can see the escort fleet signaling to each other, but they don't signal to you, obviously, because you didn't pay for your ship didn't pay for the consideration. So let me draw out the kind of basic formation of the escort fleet. It's like they've got like a ship, big gunboat, and they've got kind of like other ships on the side. I know, really wonderful drawings. It's kind of like in a circle over whatever they're protecting in the middle. And you guys are off to the side over here. The sizes may or may not be accurate.
Yeah.
So they're signaling to each other, like, oh, assume this is like north, south, east, west, but eastern ship lost contact.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound bad.
That does not sound good.
And they're saying like, well, send the scouting boat to investigate. And there's like some kind of like flag signals going between the ships that you can see. If you peer out as far as you can see to the east, it's very hard to see, but there's a kind of a fog, almost like a cloud, descended onto the ocean. And it's coming closer. The captain of your ship, seemingly oblivious, I mean, he's on sea level, what does he know? He's just out inspecting his workers, telling the deckhand, like, oh, you missed a spot, yes, scrub harder, lad, scrub harder. Today's a fine day. Fine day for trading goods.
Funny last words.
So what would it tell you? Here, Yagi, your character, you start to hear something. You in particular. Kind of like radio static, I guess. Just kind of like why don't you make a perception check? If you would like to kind of try to tune into
Got
that
it.
frequency. Head. Really hard to
Drats.
tell. Really hard to tell, but this is something that kind of happens sometimes when you're on the sea. It's just some places will emit a signal that's kind of garbled. But this is unusual. It's getting louder. And it's something coming from the eastward direction, which is unusual because usually you hear these frequencies coming from beneath the waves. Something's coming. And it's saying something, but it's all jumbled and gibberish, and then suddenly the frequency suddenly stops.
Well, this doesn't sound concerning at all.
Oops, did not mean to do that. Pressing a fucking macro, and I did not realize.
That's fine. Just get the bad bulls out of the way first, right?
Yeah.
The signaling gets a little bit more urgent as time passes. There sounds like they're getting into battle formation. It's like unknown contact. Defend the cargo. Send in ships like A, B, D, and E to support and stuff like that. And they're barely starting to peel over. And now everyone can probably start to see the fog coming in.
Yep.
Just a wall of white mist slowly heading over, and the sound of the waves starts to die off, giving everything a curiously muffled kind of feel. The air feels fuzzy. The wind stops, and all the deckhands and workers just kind of stop as they feel this unease creep over everyone. The captain seems unaffected. He's just like, oh, why, I don't want any half-assed swabbing of the decks. Keep swabbing. Down in the kitchens, let's say you're working on like a soup. You can see it, you're stirring the pot, but then it starts to change color, starts to darken rapidly. What was once a creamier kind of soup turns black and it has a sludge, starts to gain a sludge-like consistency as it bubbles and pops, and worms start bursting out.
What kind of monster would do this?
That's a good question.
And the barrels around you that used to be full of hardtack and pickled fish and stuff, they start to burst. And a foul odor comes out as they seem to instantaneously rot.
Wow. You know what? I definitely should report this.
Yeah, that sounds like a wise idea.
Wait, is
Yeah.
everyone waiting on me to say something, or?
No, just you can go ahead and report if you'd like. Just like
Yeah.
leave your station and
Yeah, I'm leaving my station.
and go up to the top deck. You can see the captain still idly just kind of like strolling along. I was like, whoa, what's gotten into you all? Why have you stopped working? What? He turns around and he sees the fog roll in. It's just a bit of weather, but I don't see why. But and you can talk to him at this point.
Captain, sir.
Oh, what is it, robot?
I have a name, you know, but
Ed? What? You came here to introduce
um,
yourself. I don't need to associate with every deckhand and every crew member. What is it? What is so important as you report to me?
so the food is rotting, and the soup just turned into some kind of sludge, and worms suddenly came out of it. It's not even edible anymore.
Well, he he says, well, that's no good. Perhaps you should add some salt or turn down the heat. I could have sworn that I paid double for good barrels. Uh, why don't you check down below? And at this point, you hear thump, 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 uh, coming from inside the fog, and oops, a line like 3 or 4 ships are engulfed in flames.
Yeah, I think they do have a cooking problem too.
But you can barely see before they too are swallowed up by the fog. seems the fog accelerates. It is only seconds before the fog also consumes your ship. And everything is blanketed in white. And now the panic sets in. You have crew members coming down for the top of the decks. They're shouting and like, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" It's like people are unfurling the sails. Like, we got to get out of here. We gotta move. And the captain, he doesn't seem to be prepared for any of this. He's just kind of blubbering, like, "Oh, where's the escort? We need to stay close to the escort," and stuff like that. Even despite the fog, you can still see the corner of one of the escort ships. But besides that, you are just the sea below you and white fog all around.
Well, I hope they don't have a cooking problem too.
About the crow's nest, it is especially disorienting because you can't even see the ship below you. It's just fog all around, and you're seemingly isolated.
Where did all this fog come from, I wonder? What's causing it?
Uh,
Hmm.
you hear another set of thump, thump, thump. And this time, there's a little bit of silence before the ship and this escort ship over here. There is screaming and shouting, and the sound of wood splintering. And you can see it start to sink.
That's not good.
In fact, at this point, your ship is moving faster than it, and you can pass along. And it looks like something just blew straight through the side of the ship. Uh, bigger than any cannon, a hole bigger than any cannon could make. And you can't even hear the sound of the crew screaming. Actually, not anymore. Just silently glub 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 glub.
Hmm.
Oh, not silent because your ship is still freaking out.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
True.
true.
You all seem pretty calm about this, but
Yeah.
you won't be when you see the bow of a ship peeking out from the east side. Gray like shark skin. Taller, perhaps twice as tall as your ship. Looming over silently.
I think that's the biggest ship I've ever seen.
Yes.
Can I speak to my patron and ask if they know anything about it?
Yes. You try to get in contact with your patron. Make a wisdom check.
Okay, just wisdom.
Yep.
Oof.
You feel almost as if your connection has completely severed. Uh, your brain starts to feel tingly and numb. And so is your hand, especially. You almost forget how to stay standing, as any feeling of being in the world is erased. That is the last thing you remember before you hear another thump, thump, thump. And your ship is blown to pieces. All right, everyone. That was a nice campaign. And no, I'm joking.
I was just about to say, well, it looks like we're drafting new characters now.
say, boy, can we leave the server already?
Well,
Thank you.
what?
You'll wake up slowly, probably not all at once. Come to conscious, become aware of your surroundings.
Yep.
You can feel daylight, sand beneath you, and you can hear the rush of the waves. Until you do anything, you'll remain face down on the sand. But, it's nice. It's nice to be alive.
Well, I wake up.
Um,
That's what I do.
can I do something?
No. Okay. Yeah. What do you want to do?
I just want to be like that one, the first person that wakes up and then immediately builds a fire and starts cooking.
Okay. Yeah. You're just picking up from where you left off.
Yeah.
You get up. You can see that you're on a sandy beach and maybe 50 feet of open air before thick jungle begins. You don't currently see much wreckage around you. You see your two crewmates. Two of your crewmates beside you. And there's bits of flotsam, I guess, that's true. Jetsam.
You're awake.
Yeah, that I am. Can I roll perception to see if I notice anything about where we are?
Yeah. Go ahead. 6.
Ooh.
Well, you're on a beach, and you scan the tree line, and no one's looking at you. From what you know, though, just as someone who's been on a ship, there are countless uncharted islands, and you could be on any of them.
Yep.
Would you care for a fish stick?
Gladly.
You have like an oven attachment built into you, where you can just like ding, like a toaster.
Well, I think if anyone calls me a toaster, that's a bit offensive, doesn't it?
Meme, you also wake up.
Yeah. Does the is the beach area, just isolated, or does it go all around the island?
From what you can see, you're on a beach. Like I said, beach, jungle, a beach for 50 feet, jungle, kind of curves out of your sight.
Okay. Well,
I guess from here it's kind of hard to see, but there is a bit of a mountain towards what is presumably the center of the island.
okay then. Uh, a large island, then I won't stray too far now. But in the just general vicinity coastline of the beach area that we're currently in, I will start making a crude map of that.
All right. Fitch, what's your passive perception?
Passive
Probably
perception.
15 because you got a +5 for perception, right?
Yeah, it should be.
Well, no, it's plus wisdom. Never mind. I think. I'm not sure.
I think it is just whatever your wisdom score is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because both my wisdom and passive
Yeah,
perception are 13.
It should be like 5, I think.
No, that's your wisdom roll bonus, like the actual
Oh.
number in the stat.
All right. Anyway, it
Yeah,
should be
like how I
15 then.
got.
Yeah.
You can see your eyes glazed over the first couple of times you scanned the tree line. But behind a log, you see two golden eyes just kind of watching intently at the three of you. Pretty low to the ground, but just barely in the tree line of the jungle.
Hey, you want a fish stick too?
Seeing that it has been noticed, it will come out of where it was hiding, and you can see it as a silver kobold
Oh,
dressed in very rudimentary clothing, uh, presumably made from animal hides and jungle leaves, holding a spear. This guy comes out, says something in Draconic, which I assume some of you might understand.
not me. Well,
Hearing, muffled draconic noises in the distance, I guess, it piques my attention. And I go over
Yeah.
to communicate with it.
Lowers the spear as you approach, and it steps back, always maintaining at least 20 feet between you two.
Uh, I try to see
We
if
do not.
what?
Starts speaking in Draconic, saying, "We do not partake in the flesh of our own kind, nor do we eat metal. Our dinner has woken up. It's a sad day."
I see if, because Yagan's cooking, I see if he has any extra food that I could give to it.
I literally offered some.
This is. I know not what creature that is. Ah. But now that you are awake, it would be dishonorable of me to take your life. Yes. Experience, revel, and taste the mercy of Knick-Knack. And the kobold raises its spear, kind of posing.
So can I just walk up to it and give it a fish stick?
I don't know if you did. You'll try to speak in common at this point, saying, "No."
You look. What do you mean? No, it's free food.
Not enough. Not enough for tribe, for clan.
So what you're saying is I should make more. Got it.
He points at Lich, saying, "I would have brought that one back for the family, had it not awoken. A shame."
You see, I don't know anything about dwarven delicacies. I'm not sure I can cook that.
Frustration. You can cook more? Shiny?
Yes.
Shiny one? Come see Elder.
Okay.
It beckons towards you. I know a safe way through the trees.
Okay.
Well, the
Yeah.
kobold's interested in the robot, but if the other two of you want to follow along with him, fine, but...
Yeah, I'll follow along and
I mean, he's just a little guy.
Yeah.
He's just a little strunkly.
I'll follow along and just add to whatever map I'm making.
Yeah.
Probably.
About 5 minutes through, Knick-Knack will stop. It's like, wrong way. Turn around. It's like sharply changed direction, and it's hard to tell what the kobold means by safety from the trees, as nothing seemingly has attacked. It's just a little bit dark because most of the trees blot out the light, but it's teeming with life. There's like frogs, birds, weird plants.
Can I make a perception check to make out if like there's anything that's like a predator, like paw prints?
Yeah, that'd be a survival check.
Oh wow.
For sure, you
Well,
can roll
let's see.
perception too if you want, but I'll tell you
Oh,
different things
sure.
based on what skill you use.
Okay, because it's either +1 in survival or +7.
19. I'll always take the left roll unless there's the relevant advantage or disadvantage. 19's good. You look with your eyes, or cameras, or whatever.
As long as you don't call me a toaster.
And obviously most of the animals here blend in with the grass really well. There seems to be no sign of any big predators, at least not animal ones. No tracks, no weird markings on the bark. But with a 19, you do spot something. You scan the tree line, then you hear like a slight noise, and you turn around. One of the trees seems to have moved and not left anything behind. Zoop.
You know, I don't think insanity works in robot terms, but that tree just moved.
It knows. It hears, it listens. Trees. Let's move quick. Quick. Knick-Knack will continue to trudge through the trees. It isn't long then after that you come across what probably was like a 2-minute walk if you just use the beach onto a bit of a, I would say village, but this is unlike any kobold or goblin or any small creature village that you've seen before. It appears to be an assembly of various shipwrecks dragged up onto the shore and used as makeshift shelters. There
All
are
right, which reminds
yeah.
me, did we wake up near any like wreckage and stuff?
No.
Oh,
Well, not any like crates or anything immediately useful, just like some ropes and uh, basically trash. But if you would like to have taken something from that, you may. Very good.
I mean, you've only said rope and trash.
Well, if there's something that you would find in a shipwreck that's smaller than like a microwave, you could probably find it.
Why do we have microwaves?
It's for the purpose of giving a player a size comparison.
Yeah.
Ah, are you calling me a microwave?
No.
They're too big to be a microwave.
True.
Megawave. So you see kobolds dragging stuff from the ocean into the village, and they're like cracking open crates and sorting what's inside, and like distributing it throughout the village. See, Elder. And as you go like into the village proper, see the kobolds aren't doing so well. They're kind of scrappy. Like most kobolds are scrappy and skinny and stuff, but I mean, for all the loot they're pulling up, they don't seem to be very well. Their scales are kind of dull, like a bad molt, and not a lot of young kobolds either. It's mostly just old ones. Knickknack seems to but even then, Knickknack is also kind of a runt-looking kobold out of any that you might have seen.
I
Seen
mean, to be
before
fair,
elsewhere.
even if they got food from the wreckage, the food turned into whatever it was earlier.
Yeah. Knickknack will lead you into what is presumably the elder's hut, or the chief's hut. It's the whole, like, bow of a ship that towers up and has, like, a curtain of rather fine, like, bed sheets, like silk bed sheets. Come. Oh, I assume you will go inside then.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
In the interior, well, first of all, you see a kobold, rather old-looking kobold, wearing a captain's hat and two mismatched shoulder pads, like you see like an officer's uniform with the gold tassels coming from. Two of those, like the top half of a officer's coat, and like some pins. Like, oh, Admiral. Very, very decorated. Eye patch. Turns around, speaks common pretty well as he says, "Well, survivors then, I presume."
Yes, sir.
Alright. Well, this one can talk. How about you two? Did you hit your heads too hard?
No, I not. I've just been listening. Is all.
No, just deep in thought.
Deep in thought. Well, I would have imagined you would have enough of the depths, as it were. Seemingly not. Are you not
So,
What is wrong with you? Usually, when we see survivors, they're terrified of us, or jumping with joy, or otherwise. Soup.
Soup.
That's right. Soup.
I make a
Sometimes
good
roasted
soup.
whole. Well, perhaps you'd do well. I'm very happy to see you, at least. If you would be so kind as to aid our humble village. We are in rather dire straits, unfortunately. And the services of one like you, why, we'd welcome you as a hero. Metal one.
Hero? Nah. Cook? Yes.
The cook hero. An awkward silence fills the room. The chief seems to be clinking what are gold teeth in his hands. More awkward silence. Knick-Knack is picking at his nose.
I guess I ask why they are unable to fish for food.
The great egg is unwell, you see. And all of the life, as the great egg is, so too shall our. What you see here is merely an influence of the imbalance within the great egg. Tiamat comes roaring down from the sky and devours everyone now. That's the wrong campaign.
Wow, this is the second time we've died so far.
Come on, people, work with me. I mean, you want me to like cause things to happen? I can.
Yeah, and I guess like, and is there? Could I go ask if I could, go sit and dwell on things somewhere?
Well, on things? Well, I suppose you can. There is a modicum of safety in this village. But take care not to dwell too long. He says cryptically.
So,
Wow.
Right.
I guess I go and try to see if I'm able to talk to my patron again. And
Yes.
do I make another wisdom check?
No, this time the signal seems to come in a little clearer. Uh,
Okay.
what's your patron like?
It's a water, dragon, serpentine sort of dragon.
Alright,
I guess.
right. And you said you have a part of it in your hand as part of like a gem or something?
Yeah, it's a sort of gem that it was imprisoned in.
Right.
That I communicate through it with.
So the actual dragon is in the gem, not like somewhere else.
Yeah, it was imprisoned in a gem by a sorcerer centuries ago.
But you let it go, right?
What?
But you let it go, right?
Or there, my character's motivation is to try to find an artifact somewhere that the sorcerer has that's keeping it sealed.
Oh, okay, so it's still in there. Gotcha.
Yeah, so it's like essence is within the gem, and there's an artifact that is keeping the seal alive, or keeping the seal intact centuries later, that my character is trying to find.
Alright. In that case, you probably wouldn't hear very many solid words coming out. At this stage, it'd be images and feelings and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't. That, it's a very complicated thing for me to deal with, unless you have a pre-described personality, which was what I was originally asking. What's your patron like?
I guess, determined, but sort of vague and mysterious, I guess.
Okay.
So, like, it says things, but, like, does not say more than is needed.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what do you say to your patron to call it forth?
I ask if they have any knowledge on what the, egg that is being referred to is, and why the kobolds here seem, in a state of decrepity or whatever.
You come before me, seeking knowledge. You do not even greet me or offer me anything. Tragic. The foolishness of the youth will be their undoing. However, here there is no curse, merely the illusion of a curse. The village the village was struck down once and would rather cling to a god than to right itself.
Interesting. So, I guess while this is going on, what are the other two doing?
That depends on what they want to do. If you don't say anything, Yagin's just going to be dragged around, being introduced to the different kobolds. They're going to give you like
know. I mean, to be fair, in order to cook food, you need to get food. In order to get food, you must hunt food.
They give you a really big, like a speared fish. Like there are a couple kobolds doing spear fishing off the side.
I don't think one fish is enough.
No, this is like as big as a kobold. It's like
Yeah.
it is
Oh,
like a
but
big
still,
orgy.
I don't think
I mean,
a big fish is enough.
depends on how many.
You need 2 big fishes.
One fish,
Nah,
two
man,
fish.
we're gonna hunt in the forest.
So only do bulk. You can see them cracking open another box. No, this wouldn't be a barrel actually. It is full of rum. Medicine.
That is not medicine. That
Medicine.
is alcohol.
Potion. Potion for headache, toothache, stomachache, scale itching. Cure all potion. But yeah, they'll show you around the village. Some of the crates are full of that sludge that you just had seen a little bit before. and it smells pretty awful. But there's a hut where one of the kobolds is just like collecting coins here and there and just polishing them really nice and stacking them up neatly in the corner. Just from what they tell you, it seems that the kobolds get most of their food from instead of fish or anything from the forest.
I see. Hmm.
Man, this is a lot less awkward in person.
Yeah.
I guess while this is going on, I see if there's anyone uh who I could ask about like the history of the village.
That'd be the elder.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm gonna go hunting a little.
you're gonna go hunting? You're gonna go into the woods?
Yeah.
Like three of the younger kobolds to kind of like grab onto your leg and they like shake their head. They try to drag you back, but it's kind of a token resistance.
I can't leave these little guys.
Some of them are having trouble lifting a crate up onto the shore. They're using bad
I'll
form.
help.
Very good. Strength check, please.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
That's good. That's good enough. With the help of the kobolds, just managed to get it unstuck from the water and like half roll it, half push it up to the altar, I guess, where they crack open boxes and barrels. Meanwhile, the history of the village. Yeah, the elder. They call him Captain. I'm the captain. What knowledge do you
Look at
seek?
me. Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Um, I ask like why the village is just made of shipwrecked stuff and why it wasn't made of a more permanent settlement looking thing.
The sea giveth and the sea taketh. A long, long ago, when I was a hatchling, we were a mighty clan of many, many of our kin. But the first ships arrived. They brought down slaughter, first with knives of their mouths, with lies and tricks, then with the sword. We are a mere shadow of what we once were. All of our strong warriors gone. Knick-Knack is our one and only warrior, and is, well, kind of like, make sure that Knick-Knack is there is a kind of a disappointment. An awkward silence fills the room. Once more. Well,
Hmm.
I guess I ask why they haven't repopulated and rebuilt more if it's been so long.
mm, I would say. That is a very deep question about the trap of poverty. But this is me as the DM speaking, trying to figure out how. Our old home was destroyed, and we lacked the breathing room, the strength, and the materials to rebuild it. We are barely scraping by as it is.
I guess I ask about where they tend to get the fish from.
The sea.
Okay.
But we're not from the sky, no?
I. Are there any rivers on the island?
What is this river you speak of?
Guess not then. Uh. Uh. I guess then, uh. Let's see. I guess, then, uh. I. Uh. You know, ask about, how far out they usually are getting fish from.
How far? But
Into the ocean.
within spear length. We have no ships as you do, if that is what you are asking.
No. Just wondering. Can I see if the, what if the stuff that they have gotten from. Well, they have the barrels. Are the barrels still, like, intact enough to hold water?
Yes, some of them are filled with like rainwater and whatnot.
Okay. Can I, uh, see if I could start, drafting up potential plans for a fish farm?
Very well.
Okay. I guess I do that and, like, look around for a potential place where that could exist.
Okay. Lich, what have you been doing so far? Hello? Oh, hi.
Yes, I'm still there. I've been just kind of just thinking, I suppose.
Dang, you're playing D&D for your characters to sit down and think? What does your
Really,
character think
just like
about?
that. It's just like that horse meme where it's just a horse looking at the ocean and just saying, "Man."
Yeah. I've been thinking about this whole egg stuff. I
Yeah.
wonder, how long would it take for the egg to hatch? Actually, no, that's what my character's gonna ask. My character's gonna ask how long the egg would take to hatch.
Who do you ask?
One of the nearby people.
Do you speak Draconic?
Fuck, I forgot about that.
Alright.
Uh, check. Yeah, I speak Draconic.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Yeah.
In that case, Knick Knack is like picking at the dirt and digging for clams, maybe.
Yeah. How long would it take for this egg to hatch?
You ask a strange question. A great egg does not hatch. The great egg always was, is, and will be. Just as the gods have planned.
Interesting.
I have seen it with my eyes. It does not hatch.
Well, if it does not hatch, then I wonder what's inside the egg. Is there anything inside it at all?
A dragon.
An egg that'll never hatch and a dragon that'll never be born. How interesting. I want to once again roll perception and see if I can notice anything interesting about what's nearby.
You can actually just like tour with your feet if you want, but if you want to stand right there and look around, you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand and look around.
Alright. You're outside. 8. Knick-Knack is digging for clams. Found some, apparently. 8. 8. 8. Um. You don't so much see it as you do hear it. Excuse me.
It's fine.
There's a whole shoreline has waves, obviously, because you're in the ocean. But there's a kind of a weird absence of sound coming from another part of the water. And you can see that maybe like 100 feet, you walk 100 feet away, a little bit out. The waves just seem to stop there. It's like you can see waves cresting in a line coming in from the depths. But then, once it reaches a certain point to the right, no wave. Just still water. Why don't you roll a nature or survival check?
Alright, let me see what my nature is. Nature. This shot 5. Same as wrong perception. 9.
Great rolls. You don't know what it is, but something tells you not to in there. Yeah. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna roll up a D100 table of things your character does when they're blackout drunk.
Oh.
Wait,
Oh boy.
whose character was drunk?
No one yet.
Okay.
This
Yeah,
is
not
my
yet.
favorite. My favorite way to shake up a duel session is to roll on the carouse table.
Yep.
Okay.
So why don't?
Honestly, just a question. Does it work like the wild magic table where suddenly a 5th level fireball drops down on you?
I don't think that makes the most sense, but it has stuff to do like you wake up in bed with so and so, or
You know, that cold ball juicy hit different.
Okay, so Has my character found a place that might be suitable for like fish farming?
So there's the part of the island you're on forms a natural harbor, which protects against the when it's stormy.
Mhm.
But you look around, see where there's like a drop off in depth. Um, yeah, any place seems to be as good as any, unless you can tell me specifics of what you're looking.
Just like a open area that could have
Yeah,
a like pool made in it or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. You can go up to see where Lich is standing.
Mhm.
That place seems good. There's like a bit of a rocky place to stand on, and you can put a net down.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that.
Lich, you see your crew member getting over there with supplies. You say anything?
So what you plan on doing with the supplies?
Uh, thinking of getting what is it, aquaculture set up?
I see.
Well,
That would help feed the locals. Now, wouldn't it?
so do you like throw a net in there or something?
Is it like so? Is it an area that's isolated from the rest of stuff, or is
Pretty
it
much, yeah.
okay?
It's a little bit out of the village, but that's good because the kobolds seem to like having space to pick up
Oh, I meant.
uh cargo.
So is it just like is it a body of water, or is it an area that could be filled with water?
It is a large body of water.
Okay. Uh, I guess first thing I do is check to see whether it's salt water or fresh water.
Salt water.
Okay.
Well, actually, do you dip your finger in
What?
and taste it, or do you dip your
I
finger in
guess.
and taste it, or what do you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess.
Uh, what's your AC?
13.
Oh,
Oh
I
no.
thought I told a certain
my
someone that even with a 9, it was a kind of a dangerous place that you wouldn't go into. But I guess we'll have to learn the hard way to look out for each other, huh?
Yep.
Your thing sort of had been a bit choppy, so I didn't fully hear it.
Oh, really? Why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me,
Yeah.
Bambi? Am I choppy for everyone?
It was not right now. It was just earlier.
sometimes a
Yeah,
little.
yeah, it varies,
It might have
but
been auto
Jeez.
detect volume.
Well,
So,
I use push to talk, so
yeah, so d20 or 10. Okay.
What's your AC?
13.
13. You feel a gripping sensation as you touched what you thought was water, but seems to be a kind of a gelatinous substance. You are just barely quick enough before the slime reaches up past your hand and tries to swallow you in.
oh, you're telling me that the entire fucking pool is a slime?
yes.
That's awesome.
So this is
Can we
a
keep the little guy?
homebrew beast homebrew monster called a sea slime, and it's pretty self-explanatory in that it is
Yep.
hidden in the ocean water and waits for surface prey. This one seems to be
Can
pretty
I?
young because it's smallish. Yeah.
Honestly, I just want to keep the little guy.
There are lots of fish bones and less digested matter stuck in its body. And it's hard to tell where the body ends and the actual ocean begins.
Okay. So, is this gonna be an encounter?
Well, it's not gonna like right now. It doesn't seem to be leaping up at you to kill you, so you're encountering it. What you would like to
Yeah.
do with it? If you're in there and like fighting to claw your way out, yes, I'd say roll initiative. But as of now, it's not doing anything.
Guess decide that this isn't an ideal place. And see if there's a area that could be potentially dug out slightly and filled with water.
All right. Yep.
With the stuff thing. Okay.
You can spend the rest of the day digging with a stick or whatever. But eventually night will fall.
But I mean, wouldn't that place be like the slime's hunting grounds if you think about it?
The area where the slime was.
Hmm.
You mean?
I mean, aren't you in that area? Like that
Uh,
entire pool
I
area?
decided that that would not be a great area to make a fish farm, and went and decided to create an artificial lake type thing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what was everyone else doing during this? I
Helping
guess.
out the cobalts and cooking.
Just gonna say, I was gonna have my character help you dig. That's alright.
Ugh,
Um.
cool. Yeah.
So. Guess we've done our own things and night's fallen now.
All right. Yeah. Night falls. Even if there is a food shortage, there is no shortage of rum. It seems. The kobolds call it medicine, but they'll host some kind of ceremony too.
You just cut out a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe try adjusting the auto detect thing in Discord. Might be that.
Let
I'm
me
not sure.
Edit channel? Integration, information overview. Oh, okay.
What?
Might be the region.
Oh. You want me
Yeah,
to
that might
change
be
that?
it.
How's that? Is my voice any clearer or is it too intermittent to tell?
Okay, yeah,
Your
that's
voice
better.
sounds- Yeah, your voice sounds
It's
fine.
like,
Might be better.
Okay.
it might have been that then.
All right. Well, yeah, they hold there. Although there's a food shortage, there seems to be no shortage of rum. As they hold a bit of a ceremony to welcome you three, especially the robot who's been out helping with cooking what food they did have. I would assume instead of digging a hole that the rest of the kobolds don't seem to understand the purpose of.
Okay.
I'm not sure if robots can, get drunk, but well, time to try out.
Wait, my character's gonna go straight for the rum. I mean,
Yeah.
both.
All right. Roll a d100s if you drink. If you drink a lot, that is.
I'm gonna do that.
My character just has a small amount, I guess.
Oh, so you don't carouse then.
No, just
Alright, I'm presuming I did the command correctly.
D100 is 12 and 21. Ooh, low numbers.
Ooh. Yeah.
You make it sound like it's a bad thing.
One, two. Interesting. Uh, Ugh. Okay. Lich, you wake
Yes.
up in you wake up to the sound of creepy breathing. It's kind of like a and your head hurts. Uh,
Ooh boy.
you hear kind of a clinking of metal every 20 seconds or so, just like a clink.
I checked to see if this is the Warforged in our party.
What race are you, by the way?
Dwarf.
Dwarf. Okay, so you can see in the dark, just like most
Yep.
PHP races.
Yeah.
It's mostly black and white while you're trying to see in the dark, but you see a kobold hunched over a surface, next to two enormous piles. Taking from one pile and doing something. It has its back turned against you, doing something with it, then setting it on the right hand pile in a neat columns.
I asked what it's doing.
It turns around as a kobold with like cataracts, I guess, because it has milky white covering its eyes.
Let's see.
Seems to be polishing coins.
Oh, that's the coin guy you mentioned.
I see.
Clean all day, all night. Clean, clean, clean the shiny, shiny metal pieces.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, someone else wakes up in the woods.
Oh,
boy.
I'm guessing that's me.
Yes, deep in the jungle, or probably deep in the jungle. It's really hard to tell. You wake up cuddling a kind of a cube, cube-shaped rock that is planted
Oh, I
into the
thought you were
ground.
gonna say slime, but
No, 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 no. You would have taken damage and woken up if you were cuddling a slime.
at least I have resistance to acid damage.
At
Wow.
least.
Or was it poison? I forgot which one, but oh well.
I would imagine it to be poison.
Probably. And
You can
construct
poison a
of it.
robot. So yeah, you wake up. There's actually a little patch of sky that you can see, from which you can see morning light. And this cube is it's nice and warm. It's
You know,
it's probably
wait,
3 feet. What was that?
what kind of rock is warm?
The one that the cube-shaped rock that you were cuddling all
Why
night.
is there just a cube-shaped rock? Rocks aren't supposed to be cube-shaped. This isn't Minecraft.
Well, isn't that interesting then? Would you like to investigate it? You can make a history check
Yes,
or a nature check.
I would like to investigate the rock.
All right, what would you like to know about it? Like if you're
Why
doing a
is it
straight
cube?
investigation
Why
check,
is
that's
it
details.
warm?
Right, okay.
Like, is this an investigation check?
Yeah, you can do investigation to look at the straight details without coming to but you can roll history if you want to compare it to artifacts that may have been unearthed before. You can roll nature to see if it is a
I have
natural
0 in
object.
all of those.
Well, choose one and roll, and I'll tell you things. 8. So I say it's a cube, but it's not as if it's perpendicular to the sky. It's like it's like a corner of it is buried in the dirt. So that's like a d6. Take a d6 and tilt it up onto one corner, and that's kind of how it's dug into the dirt.
I see. Can I take it out?
You can try to dig at the dirt beneath it, but it's either too heavy or otherwise it doesn't like pop out or anything. Also, this thing is big. It is 3 feet, like 3.5 feet on the side.
I'll see you had me with this rock. I need to find out what this rock is.
And with a 8, that's pretty much all you can tell. But the warmth, it's not as if any of the other rocks are warm. It's the warmth of the rock seems to be a property of the rock that you're on, and not of like the sunlight or anything else.
I need to know what this rock is.
Yeah, so you start digging at the bottom.
Yes.
And you're holding onto the rock just in case like it starts to fall over, right? But you dig and you dig and you dig, and then you reach your hand underneath it. It seems to be stuck in space, hovering, immobile, floating above the ground. Now that you've dug out the dirt
Oh,
underneath it,
well, now it's a floating, warming rock.
it starts to kind of hum like it's purring.
Interesting.
This is my pet rock now.
While you're digging, a little bit after you're digging, Knick-Knack will kind of like pop out of the tree line and kind of say, what are you doing here?
I woke up here, found this rock, and I want to keep this rock.
Secret. Knick-Knack's secret. Nap spot.
Oh. So you knew about this rock.
Secret. Our secret. Yes. Yes.
Our rock now.
Yes.
Yes.
So, about how much of the pond area have I managed to complete by this point?
You're probably mostly done.
Okay.
You just need to put fish in it and watch them breed. The kobolds don't just devour them first.
Okay. Uh, I guess to prevent that, I work on making a little sign describing the area.
You think these kobolds are literate? Think again.
Okay. I guess I, inform the, elder of my plan then?
Very well. In that case, he will do his best to convince the kobolds to leave the pond alone. Yeah, you can, as you're working, you can see the kobolds crack open more boxes. Sometimes it's stuff like, oh, this one's full of like cloth, bundles of silk. Very nice. Put it in the silk pile. Anything that's like a formal or military looking goes to the chief, goes to the captain. And in the time that you've dug out this pond, this fish pond, the captain's probably added like 3 more pins onto his coat. Some of them found a case of cigars, so some of the kobolds are taking a break, passing around a cigar. It's like a hot dog size to them.
Cigar.
I mean, they're human-sized cigars, so it's just kobolds are small, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a curious mismatch of the small huts, but then the oversized everything else relative to the kobolds.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, sounds like there's some stuff going on my end, so I guess we'll cut it short today.
I guess.
If there's anything I could, I get really awkward when the table is quiet, so that might be a me problem. But if there's anything I can do to make the game flow better, I will. I would like to hear it.
Yeah. At this point.
Yeah, it's been fun.
At this point.
But there's some
aside-
stuff. There's some stuff I need to attend to on this end, so sorry. I'll head out.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, see you, dude.
Okay.